Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. This is Tammy Trayer of Mountain Woman Journals, and my mom is joining us today from Pennsylvania, and we are making homemade peanuts with raw green peanuts versus buying Planters or Mr. Peanut or any of the other brands in the store. A lot of them have MSG and a lot of preservatives, and I don't do well with MSG, and we're trying to do everything ourselves. So she's gonna share a little bit of her knowledge because she's been making homemade peanuts for a long time, and thought it'd be fun to incorporate her into our videos out here. So I'll let her take it away here.
We'll show you what this is. These are raw peanuts, is what they are. They're not cooked whatsoever, and we're going to fry them. Now that might sound bad because of course there are dry roasted peanuts and everybody's cholesterol conscious and so on. We're going to really knock your socks off because we're going to fry them in lard. Lard comes from a hog, for those who don't know it. It is rendered fat from the hog, and if you can find good lard that is not pasteurized, that's what we're using. But you can also use vegetable oil if you like. In Pennsylvania, I have an electric pot that I use that has a thermostat, and I usually set it at 400 degrees to do the peanuts. Today we're going to do it in the lard, and what we're going to do is use it in a heavy frying pan, a heavy skillet, because it doesn't need to be deep. And we're going to put about this much lard in, so that it's really only about that deep, the fat, because lard, when it's hot and you put food into it, it will bubble up, so you do not want it to be real deep. And also, if this is your first time doing this, you don't want it to bubble over, because we'll let you know it will catch fire. We have a gas stove, which is great, because gas you can turn on, you can turn off. An electric stove is much more touchy, because of course if your oil gets too hot or your grease gets too hot, you cannot turn it down immediately. So I'm gonna just warn you that if for the first time people, you might want to have a box of table salt sitting by, because it's a good thing to use on a grease fire, is to just dump the table salt on the fire. It will put it out for you. Hopefully this isn't going to happen, for heaven's sake. But you heat your oil, or heat your grease or your oil, whatever you have. Even if you're doing oil in a frying pan, throw a peanut in. You'll be able to see it bubble, that you know that it is hot enough. Pour your peanuts in there and stir them constantly, because it does not take long for them to cook. And I always take them out of the oil before they are the color I want them to be, because they will continue to cook, because they're very, very hot.
And the other thing you wanted to mention was about kids and their grease.
Oh well, this is one of these jobs that if you have little youngsters around, it's a job to do when they're taking a nap or when they're in their playpen. You do not want children under your feet, especially the first time you're doing this, because like I said, this is very hot, and you surely don't want them to get hurt with it, because children do have a tendency to sometimes get underfoot. So just kind of warning you about that. Okay.
All right.
But you will be delighted. The finished product looks like this. These are the peanuts that we had done already. We have used, and you'll see later as you go along, how we've used paper towels to just I use the word noach, because that's what we do in Pennsylvania. You just go around and go around, go around in your peanuts with the paper towels, and I use them frequently and keep on doing it, because all the oils will come off of these. And you can see these are in a bowl. There is no grease, no oil, and you will be delighted, because these have a completely different taste than anything that you will buy in the store.
Most definitely.
Plus, you did them yourself. They make a great gift. Yeah. I often give homemade peanuts, so we call them homemade peanuts, home done peanuts, for Christmas gifts, which I have friends who are usually looking for them. They're hoping that that's what they're getting for Christmas, because they do like them. So enjoy yourself, have a good time, and enjoy treating your family. Okay, bye-bye.
And we'll show you more as we go here in the process, and how we get them out of the oil and so forth. But I'm glad to have my mom joining us. Thank you, Mom, and for your knowledge. And we'll
we have one other thing to mention. When you go through and you see how we took them out and got them in a got the oil out of the peanuts, I did put them in a brown paper bag. Some of you may not have stores that have brown paper bags. So what you can do is line a 9 by 13 pan. We put some newspaper in it because the newspaper will absorb the oils. Put some paper towels on top of it when you get them out, the peanuts out of the oil, because they will have a lot of it on. Put them in here, and of course it'll absorb the excess oil for you to start the process of cleaning them and getting the oil off of them. So you can use this if brown paper bags are not available. I just use them because they're cheap and free.
There you go.
Hey, okay.
Now you know where my frugal mindset comes from. All right, so we will continue making these and show you the rest of the process. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. This is Tammy Trayer of Mountain Woman Journals, and we are making peanuts today. This is my mom stirring up the peanuts, raw peanuts, in a cast iron skillet with lard. Decided to make our own peanuts because the store-bought peanuts have MSG and all kinds of garbage in them, so I thought I would show you the process here a little bit and share the recipe with you so that you too can make your own peanuts. So
First they need green peanuts.
you need green raw peanuts, and you cook them in hot lard, not very long, short time, and she's throwing them in a brown paper grocery store bag so that you can drain the oil off of them. And then you can salt them and add your seasoning or flavoring or whatever you like. But
To get them out before they're real done because they're going to keep cooking.
so I'm going to shut this off so I can help her, and we will continue to show you some more. Okay, so she's shaking the peanuts in the bag to help get the grease off. And she's going to dump them into a metal bowl lined with paper towels to get additional grease off. And then we will use popcorn salt to season them.
And they're hot yet. They're still hot, so while they're hot, you just noach them around.
Pennsylvania Dutch word, if you will, noach.
Which means just keep squeezing them. However, these are very, very hot. These are real hot. So and they are continuing to cook. So when you get them out of the oil, and you can do this in an electric pan that you may have with your oil at about 400 degrees, and you need to stir the peanuts constantly because they get done very, very quickly. And they are very hot, so when you get them out, they will continue to cook, so they don't have to be completely the color you want them. And then you just put them in a bowl and put paper towels in them. Now, if you can see, this is all oily yet. And you can use cooking oil if you want. You can't use it for anything else after you do the peanuts because it will be sort of it won't be good for any kind of other cooking. First, it'll taste like peanuts. And the others is it gets very hot and isn't good. But you keep doing this and you will have peanuts that don't have any oil on them at all. Lard is a good thing to use if you can get lard, but most people can't because it is a unsaturated natural fat, which is actually good for you. Okay.
All right, so we will pop back in a little bit and show you some more. Hey guys, I'm jumping back in here. We thought we'd show you, we're making coffee while we're also making peanuts. Some of you aren't accustomed to a coffee pot like this, but because we're off-grid, we don't use electric appliances. So this is my 20 cup, which is essential in our home, coffee pot, and it is a percolator. So you put your water in, and you have a unit in the inside that goes up through and pushes the water up into where you store the coffee grounds. And the way you know that it's working is you can see the coffee bubbling up into here. And once that starts, you turn it down a little bit and leave it cook for a little while longer, depending on how strong you like your coffee. And there you go. But this is what we use out in the campfire. This is what we use in the house and on the wood stove. So essential piece to our kitchen here. So we thought we'd share that. So
I'll show you the insides a little later.
there we go. All right. Okay guys, we're back and we're going to show you the inside of the percolator here so that you understand how this thing works. So go ahead, you can...
This is cooled now, so we're just taking apart. You have a lid, you have a strainer that has holes in so that when the water perks up and comes up through here, because of the heat, it goes down through the holes and goes into the well that has the coffee. Now, this is a coffee. We did use a coffee filter in here because there are things in coffee. It's dripping. There are things in coffee here that do get filtered out if you use a filter, which is good. And this is the other part that fits into the coffee pot. You fill it with water, put this in, put this on top of it. Water gets hot, perks up through the stem of this, down through the coffee, and voila, you have a whole pot of coffee at one time. Whole lot cheaper than those little cups you make one at a time. Those rascals are expensive, and you know, times are tough. We need to economize. So this is a percolator. Just want you to know that Mountain Woman didn't know what this was when she was a child. When she went to her grandmother's, the first time she saw a coffee pot perking, my mother said, "What are these kids looking at?" I said, "They're watching your coffee pot." They've never seen one of those because, of course, they had seen electric coffee pots and Mr. Coffees and so on. So they had no idea. So it was a real treat to them, too, to watch the coffee perking. There you are.
And now
enjoy.
Now it's instilled in me, so. But there you go. Now you know what a percolator coffee pot is, and we'll catch you on the next video.
And they do come in different sizes, by the
way. Oh,
way.
yeah,
they
do.
They come in like a 6-cup, an 8-cup. This one is a big 20-cup, and I'm sure they even make bigger ones for over the campfires.
They very well might. I know I have a bigger pot. It's not a percolator, but you can always make cowboy coffee, but we'll do that on another video. But they do definitely have different sizes, and our family drinks, me specifically, drinks a lot of coffee. So 20 cups is a nice size, but and I'll like I said, I'll fill you on how to make the cowboy coffee over the fire, because we intend to do some over the fire cooking in the next couple weeks. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll catch you on the next one.